All right, Steam's FPS Fest is on right now through April 22nd, and with that, I was able to check out this new upcoming extraction shooter called Exfil. We watched the trailer a little while ago on my live stream. I didn't realize there was a demo coming out, and it's something. So the Steam page describes it as a tactical first-person extraction shooter where you become a member of one of 4 competing teams tasked with retrieving intel. Using GPS skills, your goal is to locate and recover the intel, then successfully exfil. Now, this is a little strange because the demo is out right now. It is planned to go to early access, but we don't have a release date yet. And the game is, by all intents and purposes, like, it's early. I was assuming this was like a pre-alpha, almost a tech demo. There's, you know, assets everywhere. The gun sounds are trash. The gameplay isn't really that fun, but I was a fan of the actual premise. I thought the idea of 4 teams jumping in, you know, minimal HUD, minimal information, and just kind of going at it in a large, you know, battle area, I thought that was pretty cool. There are some problems that I foresee with that, but the premise I was actually kind of starting to fall in love with, and I was like, okay, these guys could take 3-4 years, work on this game, and it could eventually be something. But then when you look at their early access portion on their store page, they say that they're anticipating for the game to be in early access until late 2024, meaning this demo is like, yeah, they can call it pre-alpha, but I'm guessing based on that timeline, the game's going to be coming out within the next 30 to 60 days, and then they're going to have like a 6-month early access lead time, which in my opinion, based on what I played today, is just complete fucking bullshit. The game's premise is enjoyable. The fact that we're going in, no information, and you just kind of have to navigate around and you're fighting other teams kind of trying to get to this helicopter, break open the door and grab the laptop and then extract. I think that idea is very cool, but everything else about the game is just like very, like, I would say mediocre / like pre-alpha tech demo. It feels almost like a prototype. When you're spectating players after you die, it doesn't show any information besides the player name. You can't open your scoreboard, so you don't even know what team you're watching. It's just everything about this is like half cocked. But again, I was going in thinking like, well, yeah, it's a pre-alpha. This game's going to be in development for years, but it's just not. The gunplay is very mediocre. Bullets travel at a snail's pace, and it feels like the hit detection is just very off. I was getting some kills and I was doing okay, but on top of that, then you have the audio, which I think is pretty abysmal. There's really no like echoes, there's no like gunfire kind of reverberating off of it. Like it feels very primitive and early, and I would say like Counter-Strike has better audio. As an example, this is what you can expect jumping into it in the current state. I've played a lot of indie titles that just have better audio all around. I've played better indie titles in general, from the player controller to the gunplay to the actual movement to the level design and the art assets that are just splattered all over the place here. There's no semblance of art. There's no art direction at all because all of it is assets. There's nothing wrong with using assets, but you have to replace them. You have to update them. And in my opinion, you shouldn't be selling a game that is just filled with marketplace assets. That's my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with me. I don't give a fuck. What I do have a problem with is a lot of people say that they're using these art assets and then they're going to use the development time to work and replace them. This doesn't have a large development time according to their store page. Currently, Exfil is in a stage where there are 3 maps that can be played in multiplayer. 1 player needs to host the game locally, meaning there's really no progression or anything to work towards and unlock. And in the full version, they're anticipating a wider variety of maps and eventually different game modes. Furthermore, they aim to develop dedicated servers and other features based on community feedback for 6 months. And obviously, I'm not saying the game's development is going to end. I just don't foresee taking it from where it's currently at right now in a pre-alpha / prototype / tech demo state and taking it to that 1.0 launch in 7 months. There's just no fucking way. The only way that works is if your 1.0 state that you're planning to make is going to be mediocre, which I would hope that you guys aren't setting out to make a mediocre game. That doesn't seem fun. So I really do feel like these developers need to kind of claw back on that timeline and really sit down and look and be like, okay, this game's going to take fucking years to get to a point where, you know, it's actually worth something to somebody. That being said, even though I had problems with the moment-to-moment gameplay, the player controller, the audio, just everything about it, that premise is what really intrigues me, because I think that there's something there, and I think they're onto something there. They just need a game around it to facilitate that idea. That concept is fucking awesome. I was in the pre-game lobby and somebody even said this.
Yeah, like I could tell I want to like it.
Right?
But I think it's
Right?
I want to like the idea of it more, you know?
And I fully agree with them. The big problem that I do have with this game mode is because the maps are so big and because there's 4 teams competing, there's a total of like upwards of 16, or I think you can get even 5 players on a team. So 20 players in a game. If you die early, or hell, even if you die in the mid game, you're just kind of sitting there spectating until the end of the match. It's not like, you know, you're playing a game like Call of Duty where you can just jump back to the lobby and then join another one. You're in there for quite a long time. A lot of the gameplay I have from this game is spectator gameplay. I went in, got a couple of kills, got close to the objective, took out quite a few players, and then I died because, you know, you're not going to take out everybody. And you just kind of have to sit and wait and watch. And the problem is there's no information. You don't know what team you're watching. You don't know what your kill death is. You have no, there's no game here. You know, it's essentially a big death match with an objective of like extracting an objective, a little item back to your point. But like, it's so primitive, yet the concept could be fleshed out and built upon, and I think there's something there. But I will say there are red flags that make me wonder if this is the dev team to make it happen. But anyways, guys, there is a few days left on Steam's FPS Fest. If you guys want to try this demo for yourself, I will have it linked down below, and I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. It won't cost you anything to play. They do have a Discord. Again, I'm not shitting on them because it's a demo, didn't cost me anything. They're trying to gather feedback. But that timeline that they're presenting to the public is very, very ambitious. And, you know, even in my own journeys, giving timelines like that, it never works out. Transients, we wanted it to be done in 2023, but we also came out right at the beginning of everything. And we said, if it's not ready to go, it won't be. And through development, we realized, dude, that is so ambitious. So I'm hoping that these guys can really take a hard look at what they want to do, how long they want to be in development, and what that 1.0 state looks like to them. Let me know your guys' thoughts if you do play the demo down below in the comments. And while you're down there, leave a like on the video, subscribe for more FPS content like this. My name is BigFry. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.